The Deep. Not only do we have a season of the same name releasing in just a couple of weeks, but the word deep is also super important in the backstory of Destiny's Light and Dark saga. The Deep is a synonym of darkness essentially, but we tie this word to many stories, some from the Books of Sorrow and Oryx's communion with the Witness. Others from Rhulks' Vow of the Disciple dialogue saying drown in the deep, and even quotes from Zol back in the day. Today we talk about what we know about the Deep to get us ready for Season of the Deep in just a couple of weeks. Deep is kind of another word for darkness. The word deep is used by other alien species to speak about what we refer to as the darkness. In the Books of Sorrow and other texts, the deep and the sky is often used instead of dark and light, just another way to speak about it. No, said Oryx, you give nothing. Giving is for the sky. You worship the deep, which asks that we take what we need. The Leviathan's warning. We live on the edge of a war between formless and form, between the deep and the sky.
Is coming. A great cataclysm. A gone wave. In the sky, there is only death. But salvation lies in the deep.
The worm gods worshipped the deep, the Witness and his disciples, which made them worship. We know Rhulk went down and basically enslaved the worms to the Witness, thus why they worshipped the deep in the first place. Then Oryx said, now I may speak to the deep, the beautiful final shape. I will be king of shapes. I will learn all the secrets of our destiny. His speech to the deep is not recorded here, but it is known that he returned and he said, now I am Oryx the Taken King, and I have the power to take life and make it my own. Then he went out into the universe and fought the Ecumene with his tablets, and the worm, his god, was pleased. Oryx killed the worm god Akka and learned how to speak with the deep, learning the power to take. Marasov explains the voice in the darkness, the Witness, as the original master of the Taken, so Oryx learned how to speak to the Witness and acquire that power.
The Taken presence here is overwhelming. With Quria defeated, I assumed Savathun would have lost control of them. But they seem just as organized, just as directed. By whose hand?
There are greater things in the dark than hive gods, Ikora. The Black Fleet's powers are vast. Oryx did not invent the Taken. He merely borrowed them.
I have already learned much by observation. The Taken pursued her here. Taken she once controlled. Taken that now serve a new master. Or, if Savathun is to be believed, their original master. Not her brother, Oryx, but something far older. She fears it. It commands Xivu Arath to conquer the Ascendant space surrounding the Dreaming City.
Oryx went down into his throne world. He went out into the abyss, and with each step he read one of his tablets, so that they became like stones beneath his feet. He went out and he created an altar and prepared an unborn ogre. He called on the deep, saying, I can see you in the sky. You are the waves, which are battles, and the battles are the waves. Come into this vessel I have prepared for you. And it arrived, the deep itself. So that is the direct moment when Oryx spoke to the deep and the Witness. Savathun asks if I am as much of a slave as the deep as my Taken. She asks what price I pay for my power. I am not Taken. The hive is not the deep. The deep doesn't want everything to be the same. It wants life, strong life, life that lives free without the need for a habitat of games to insulate it from reality. When I make my Taken, I make them closer to perfect. I heal their wounds and enhance their strengths. This is inherently good. Ayat, the only right is existence, the only wrong is non-existence. So the deep equals darkness. In Oryx's case, the deep equals speaking to something in the darkness being the Witness. So either the witness is in the deep, this metaphorical realm of darkness and power, or it was referred to as the deep itself by creatures like Oryx. The story has evolved a lot since the Taken King though. Let's talk about some other examples where characters spoke of the deep. Zol said this.
Shall drift. There is no light here. You shall drown in the deep.
Rhulk, as mentioned on behalf of the witness, went to speak to those worms. He speaks of those stories and also about using darkness to kill our guardian, to drown us in this deep.
When I reached the creature known to some as the Leviathan, it laid its thoughts bare. Turn from the deep, fearmonger, it relayed. I know what you seek. Press on, and you will drown in it. I do not drown. I spoke with a defiant tongue. In a mere infinitesimal measure of time, I held a rib of this beast in one hand and pushed aside its maned vessel with the other. I rise.
As we know, next season is called Season of the Deep, and this could refer to multiple ideals. First, Season of the Deep meaning darkness. Will we learn more about this enemy of the witness, the deep, and how to combat it? Possibly thanks to this so-called Leviathan seen in the cover art. You then have the other side of the coin. Season of the Deep could just be a play into Titan as a location, given the oceans are vast and the creature resides in its depths. So the deep was used to represent overall darkness. Down in the deep was a physical place where the worms lurked, beings that use and worship darkness. You then have Oryx, who communed with the deep, believed to be the witness who wears darkness like a cloak, and beings like Rhulks speak of drowning their victims in that deep. So that's the overall meaning, in my opinion, given some of the lore, but Season of the Deep may have a different meaning of its own, as we may come to find out. The depths of Titan's oceans, and the Leviathan creature, like the one back on Fundament that warned of the worms in the deep. Anyway, Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. If you'd like to see some more Destiny lore and mysteries just like it, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.